How's it going, everybody? Noah from Stage 3 here, and we are finally back in the shop with our 2021 F-150. So I wanted to knock out a new intake and exhaust on this truck today, and I'm not going to run you through every nut and bolt along the way, but I will show you the general install and kind of what it takes to get these put on, so you have some idea if you're doing this at home. And then at the end, we'll also throw in some sound clips and stuff. That way you can kind of get a feel for what changed and how the truck sounds before and after. So I think it'll be really cool. S&B hooked us up with their intake, and we're running a dry filter for this one, and then AWE sent us a dual side exit kit. It's all 3-inch stainless steel. Everything's going to be pretty solid. I don't have any concerns about fitment here. I think both of these are going to bolt up no problem. But that being said, let's start off with the intake and get to work. With the filter out of there, that's the last of the top section of the factory intake, and as you saw, it's really easy to remove. You can do all this with hand tools and it really doesn't fight you much. So with that out of the way, we just have to remove a bolt going through the side of the fender here that holds the box. We'll take off some clips up front, and then we should be able to get the rest of the factory equipment out of here, and the S&B kind of just drops in place exactly how the factory one sits. So there's not really a lot of complexity to this install, but you'll see in the instructions that any little changes that you have to make are pretty well noted. One of the steps you don't want to forget is to pull this grommet off of your factory intake and move it into the hole on the new intake box for the S&B kit. So usually if you can just wiggle the little metal piece out of here, you can get the rubber out afterwards, but you can also use a pry tool to help push that away. There we go. And we'll just squeeze this guy into place. Perfect. Don't forget to reattach this little harness for your airflow sensor back here. Just click that right into place. All right, everything's bolted up with the S&B, so we are all good as far as the cold air intake is concerned. And as you saw, it's really not a difficult install and not too time consuming. You can do this all with hand tools in your driveway within a Saturday, no problem. But this is one of those intakes that we've actually installed on a couple of our other builds just because we like the bang for your buck that you get. And as far as like actual fitment and the quality of the filters and the instructions and everything else, S&B does a pretty good job of keeping it well-rounded. So if you are in the market for an intake, this is definitely one worth considering. Now that that intake is wrapped up, I'm gonna get the truck up on the lift and we'll start taking off the stock exhaust so we can get the AWE system in. And then like I said, at the end, we'll get you some sound clips of all of this once everything's assembled. But let's get this thing up in the air. Ideally, pulling the stock kit off, you want to separate the resonator from the muffler and the rest of the system, so that way you can pull it out in two pieces. But ours was kind of seized on here and I couldn't get it to come free from the flex pipe. So that's why I kind of just clumsily lifted the whole thing out and dropped it as one unit. It's not like the easiest way to do it, but it did work. So with all of this clear, we still have our other hangers put up. I think we'll just have to pull this hanger off the muffler and put that back on the frame. And then all of the AWE stuff should tie in with the factory hangers because it runs to basically the same location. So we're gonna lay all of that out, just get a good look at the kit and make sure we know how everything's gonna piece together. But this pretty much takes care of the stock exhaust in one go. So I'll lift this out of here as well and we can get to work. So the exhaust that you get from AWE is probably the second best part of the kit, because the best part is you'll get a box like this with your tips in it, and when you open it up, every kit comes with a free blow pop. And we got sour apple, so not bad. A little reward for getting it done. But we've got our two tips in here. We went for the sort of like a black chrome. It's a really high gloss black, but I think this is gonna look nice with the black wheels we have on there, those Ford Performance wheels. So we'll pop these on and we should be just about done. Well, we've got everything bolted up for the exhaust. The fitment seems to be just right. I had no issues getting it pieced together and the tips look good. There wasn't anything scratched or dinged. So AWE does a good job with their packaging. We haven't ever had one of their kits show up damaged. They always seem to be in pristine condition, which makes it a lot easier to get this stuff installed. But with that done and the intake done, like I said, we'll drop some sound clips in here and you guys can get a little bit of a sense for how the truck sounds overall. But we are just gonna fire it up in the shop, and then down the road here, we're gonna get you a review of that exhaust so you have a better idea of what it sounds like on the highway, and actually doing some polls and, you know, spending some time with it, doing daily driving scenarios before we talk about it. So that'll be coming. There'll be more sound clips to hear, but this will at least give you a taste test. And then I know with the intake, it's a little hard to tell because you can't quite hear it over the exhaust that much, but there's a little bit more turbo noise that comes through and kind of that whooshing sound from the air being pulled. So it does add to sort of the just overall excitement of the truck, I guess, and it makes the motor feel a little more alive since they're just dead silent from factory. Yeah, overall, we're really happy with how everything came together, and I appreciate you guys watching and sticking it out. Also, if you guys are interested in picking up any of these parts for your F-150, we'll have some links down in the description, and those will shoot you over to our website. So make sure to check those out. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.